Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's just get straight to it. A lot of you learning English find it pretty tough sometimes to refuse requests politely, right? That feeling, where you want to say no, but you're worried about sounding, well, rude or maybe unhelpful.
Yeah, that's a really common challenge.
We're kind of tackling that head on today.
Exactly. And figuring out how to handle those moments gracefully, that's really key. So our mission in this deep dive is basically to give you some effective and, importantly, polite ways to decline things in English.
Okay.
We'll look at phrases you can actually use, feel confident using, at work, with friends, just everyday situations.
Right, so you can protect your own time, but still keep things positive with people.
That's the goal. Maintain those good connections.
Exactly. So we've pulled together 5 useful phrases from our sources. These should help you say no, but still sound, warm, respectful, and actually pretty self-assured.
Think of it like learning to set good boundaries, but in a way that feels, well, natural, not forced.
Right. So where should we begin? Which phrase is first?
Okay, let's start with a really versatile one. I'm afraid I can't.
Ah, okay. Like maybe a colleague asks, hey, could you quickly help me with this urgent task?
Yeah.
And you could say, oh, I'm afraid I can't right now. I'm kind of in the middle of something else.
Precisely. And what's interesting there, the I'm afraid part,
Mm.
it really softens the refusal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's not like you're actually scared.
No, not literal fear. It signals more like regret or maybe a little disappointment that you can't help out. It shows you've actually heard them and considered their request.
Right.
And building on that, it's quite flexible. You can
Yeah.
use it in, more formal settings, maybe with your boss or a client.
Okay.
But it works just as well informally with friends or, say, your neighbors.
So it's like a gentle but direct way to say no without sounding harsh or dismissive.
Exactly.
When you actually say it, though, how should it sound?
Yeah.
Any tips on the delivery?
Yeah, good question. Aim for a slightly apologetic tone, maybe, but keep it warm.
Okay. Warm but apologetic.
Right. And maybe a small smile, a little nod, that can help show sincerity too. Oh, and importantly, try not to over-explain.
Ah, right. The rambling excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Avoid that. Often, just a brief, honest reason is totally fine. If you say too much, it can sometimes sound a bit like you're just making excuses.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, what's our next phrase?
All right, another really useful one, this time maybe more for social invites or offers, is, that sounds great, but I'm not available.
Ooh, I can definitely see you using that one. Like a friend says, hey, we're planning a team dinner Friday night. Want to join? You could respond, oh, that sounds great, but actually I'm not available Friday evening.
Exactly. See how you start with the positive part? That sounds great. It shows you appreciate them asking.
Yeah, acknowledges the invitation first.
Right. Then you clearly state you can't make it. And this works particularly well if it is something you genuinely like to do, just, the timing is off. And you can soften it even more, maybe follow up with something like, let me know if you go again.
Yeah.
Or just a simple, maybe next time.
Oh, those are good follow-ups. Keeps the door open.
Yeah. Maintains that positive vibe.
And the tone for this one, how should you deliver it?
Well, you want the that sounds great part to sound genuinely enthusiastic, like you mean it.
Okay.
Then, when you get to the but I'm not available bit, maybe just lower your tone slightly, keep it steady. That way it feels respectful and friendly, not like overly dramatic or false.
Got it. Enthusiastic first, then a calm refusal.
Uh,
Okay, moving on. Phrase number 3.
Number 3, this one is often really good for professional settings. I'd love to help, but I have other commitments.
Ah, yes. Very professional sounding. So at work, maybe a colleague asks, could you review this report today?
Yep.
You could say, gosh, I'd love to help with that, but I have other commitments this afternoon, or something like that.
Exactly. And what's effective there is the phrase other commitments. It sounds, well, professional, responsible.
Right. It implies you have a full workload already.
Precisely. And starting with I'd love to help shows you're generally willing, you're a team player, just not right now for this specific thing.
Okay. Are there variations?
Oh, sure. You could say I've got something scheduled already. Or maybe I'm pretty tied up today, but maybe tomorrow. Something like that.
Offering an alternative time can be good, too.
Definitely. If it's appropriate. Like
Okay.
maybe I could look at it first thing in the morning. Or could I help with the next phase if it's a project?
Good options. And the delivery for I'd love to help, but I have other commitments.
Again, that I'd love to help part needs to sound warm, genuine, not just like you're reading a script.
Right. Then state the other commitments part clearly, confidently, no hesitation, no sounding defensive. It just shows you value your own time and your existing responsibilities.
Okay, clear and confident.
Hmm.
Now, phrase number 4 seems a little different.
Yes, this one has a slightly different feel. I appreciate you asking, but I'll have to pass. I'll have to pass. That sounds quite polite, but maybe a bit more casual.
It can be, yes. It's kind. Imagine someone says, we're organizing a group trip next month. Want in.
Okay.
You could reply, oh, I really appreciate you asking, but I think I'll have to pass this time. The key is that first part, I appreciate you asking. It directly acknowledges their thought, including you.
Yeah, shows gratitude.
Exactly. And then I'll have to pass is just a very straightforward but still polite way to say no without needing a long explanation.
So good for maybe informal invitations, group things where you just need a kind but firm no.
Precisely. Where a simple refusal is enough.
And making sure it lands well. Tone advice.
Definitely make sure that I appreciate you asking sounds sincere, like you actually do appreciate it.
Right, not robotic.
Not robotic, exactly.
Yeah.
Your voice should convey genuine thanks. And maybe keep the overall tone slightly upbeat, if you can. It helps stop the no from feeling too negative or dismissive.
Upbeat and sincere. Got it. Okay, what's our final phrase? Number 5.
Our 5th phrase, this one leans a bit more towards formal or maybe professional contexts. It's,
unfortunately, I won't be able to.
Unfortunately. Yes, that feels more formal, like maybe in an email.
Yeah, email's a good example, or perhaps in a meeting context.
So if someone asks you to join, say, an optional weekend retreat for work, you could reply, unfortunately, I won't be able to make the retreat. I've got family visiting that weekend. Or even just, unfortunately, I won't be able to.
Exactly. That word, unfortunately, signals regret, a sense that you wish the circumstances were different, but you can't accept.
Right.
It's useful when you want to be clear, respectful, but maybe you don't want or need to share a lot of personal details about why you can't do something.
Keeps it concise and professional.
Yes, it's direct, but still maintains that polite distance.
And the key to delivering this one effectively?
Probably a calm, more neutral tone works best here.
Say the unfortunately, clearly, maybe even a little deliberately. It sets the tone. And also, it's important here, maybe more than with the others, not to over-apologize.
Ah, interesting. Why is that?
Well, confidence also means being comfortable with the fact that you can't always say yes. It's okay to sometimes disappoint someone, as long as you communicate your no kindly and respectfully. Unfortunately, does that without needing lots of, I'm so sorries.
That's a really good point, being comfortable with the no. So, okay, as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, saying no politely, it's really not about being negative or unhelpful, is it?
Not at all. It's actually about self-respect,
Right.
Respecting your own time, your energy, your well-being.
And learning these ways to do it politely and confidently, that can actually make your relationship stronger, more respectful.
Absolutely, because you're being clear about your boundaries. People generally respect that.
So for everyone listening, maybe think about these 5 phrases we've discussed. Which one or maybe which couple feel like they'd fit your style? And maybe give yourself a small challenge this week. Just try using one of them.
Yeah, just one.
In a real situation where you need to decline something, could be at work, with friends, even just, an online request. See how it feels.
And remember, setting boundaries isn't impolite. It's actually, intelligent and healthy. Using phrases like these can hopefully make setting those boundaries in English feel a bit more natural for you and definitely more confident.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, if you found this deep dive useful, if it gave you some practical tools, maybe consider liking, subscribing, sharing it, especially with other people you know who might also find saying no a bit tricky.
Yeah, let's all learn to communicate with, both kindness and courage.
Kindness and courage. Well said.